Yo, what's up guys? This is Cray and welcome back to another Summoners War video. Today we are gonna be talking about a hot drama which actually happened in the Summoners War Championship 2025 Europe Cup Finals. And it was up against Pingroid and Rexis. So far, the first two matches were fine. I think there wasn't anything suspicious. But then this actually happened. So I'm just gonna show you guys the matches from 2-0 onwards. And then we can see why Pingroid actually threw all of the matches. He could have won this one easily, right? So just gonna show you guys here. Rexis opening up with the Jogan, Sierra, and the Annabelle. Pingroid went for the Antares Diana, which is pretty interesting to say the least. I know those two are very RNG heavy, and then fitting in the Shizuka and Leo there as well. Probably Leo to slow things down, Shizuka so that she can spread the bombs and potential stuns as well. Alright, so Rexis, he's going to be picking this Juno and the Lamela as well. And Pingroid is going to finalize his draft with the Angela. Alright, so far I think in terms of the drafting, nothing too suspicious, but it all happened in the match itself. Alright, so here we'll just wait for the bands to be locked in. Yeah, probably we can 2x this shit. Alright, so bands are locked in. It's the Jogan and the Leo. So over here in the match, this is actually match point for Pingroid. Whoever wins gets $10,000 by the way. So honestly, no reason to throw unless, in my personal opinion, you know, nowadays there's a lot of gambling websites, third parties and stuff like that. Maybe there's some sort of gambling for Summoners War. I am honestly not sure whether that is that is relevant into this, but yeah. So here the Diana goes for the transformation, working on to the Annabelle, which is okay, although he could have actually finished off the Sierra really easily. But still nothing suspicious here. Go for all things in nature, it's fine. Juno, go for the strip. So far so good. And then Annabelle getting bombed up there. Antares getting another turn. Here, maybe you want to use your Antares to kill off the Juno, which kind of makes sense because you don't really have good damage to deal with it later on. So, once again, another transformation from the Diana. Going for the kill onto Annabelle. And then he can go for the transformation here. So far, everything makes sense. Doing more damage onto the Juno as well. So Antares this time is like really low on health. Alright. Shizuka will be able to place the Soul Protection onto the Angela, which is also pretty interesting. I would have actually done it onto the Antares itself, but I think it's still fine. And then here he gets the stun. Antares gets the turn. And over here, honestly, he could have actually just finished off the Juno, but he went for the Lamela instead. Triple crits, I guess that's fine. And Sierra here will be missing the bomb. Yeah, pretty unfortunate. And then you can see actually Rexis is like tilting a little bit. He's like laughing towards Pingroid. Pingroid is chilling over there. Okay, Antares gets the additional turn. And here he actually scratches his head. It's like, shit, do I really need to kill off this Lamela? Or the Juno? So suddenly he shifts his focus towards Sierra, which honestly doesn't make sense, alright? Because Sierra doesn't have the bomb. Okay, so Antares goes down. Juno here doing more damage onto the Diana, getting the stun. And then, yeah, you can Soul Protection, although you can finish off the Lamela. Alright? So, doesn't really matter. Lamela dies towards the shield. And Sierra here gets the additional turn though. So, missing another bomb by the way. And then he's like, oh shit. God damn it. There goes the $10,000, right? So, yeah, Pingroid here is like laughing already. He knows this one is in the bag, and then he did this, okay? You could have just went for the transformation, but he went for the shield instead, which honestly I don't understand. You can just transform and bloody kill off that Juno, right? Or the Sierra. And then later on, over here, the bomb is placed onto the Dyna. What does he do? He transforms the Dyna. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand this play, you know? So here, he actually went for the transformation. He could have done at least another 2 to 3k damage onto the Juno, or maybe a 5-6k damage onto the Sierra. The Shizuka had skills, by the way. And then now he's like laughing at... He's looking at Rexus, smiling. He goes for all things in nature. And then at this point in time, you know, you just bring the Antares, you kill off the Juno, game over. 3-0 clean sweep victory. Everybody happy with their pick'ems in the prediction tournament as well. However, he brought Angela instead. That was the only way for him to actually lose, you know? So... I don't know, man. I don't know what was the agreement between Rexus and Pingroid. Who knows? Maybe Rexus is also into it. You never know all these kind of things that is happening at the back end of the tournaments, right? So yeah, Rexus here. I'm not sure, maybe he's not there. You can see he's a little bit distraught. Pingroid is like... I don't know, man. It's just a little bit too sus at that point in time. But still, it's 2-1, right? So there's two more chances for Pingroid to close this one. But from what we can see here, in terms of the first match, and in terms of the third match itself, it seems to me like he doesn't want to win. Maybe to get a better placement in the World Finals, which I don't think so as well, right? Because normally when you win the tournament, you'll be probably seeded with the second or third place player from other brackets, right? So yeah, I don't know what is the point of doing this. So moving along to round 4 over here. In terms of the drafting, seems pretty fine to me, where Rexus does have some really good controls with double strips and a potential snipe with the Sonya. Pingroid falling back with the Vanessa revive, and then you got Masha to deal against the Oliver as well. And Rexus will be locking in the light Inosuke at the end. So this one, it all depends on the bans here, but I believe the Jogan and the Vanessa was removed, and then it's gonna be Speed Leader against the Attack Lead. Sonya definitely moving first in this one, right? So definitely able to snipe something off on turn 1. Goes for it onto the Shiho. Right, and then what does he do? Suppression onto the Inosuke. This Geo actually hits really hard though, by the way. So 6k crit, getting the stun onto the Inosuke as well. So at this point, the mistrip onto the Anvil was huge. Rexus didn't really like it because he really wanted to reset off the Anvil, but no choice. He had to work onto the Masha a little bit instead. And Anvil layouts the armor break and slow debuff, which is fine so far. And then over here, okay, maybe he really wants to kill off the Morphers. The Inosuke is slowed and attack bar is really low as well. On to probably last hit too. So Geo here goes for the kill onto the Moor. You can see 13k damage. That is actually a lot for a supportive kind of bruiser unit, which got a lot of turns. So getting slowed up over there. And this is a point where he could have finished off the Inosuke, but he went for the kill since with this additional turn. The armor break onto the Sonya didn't actually land it, but was just enough to bring it down. And he could have actually healed up right here with the Annabelle. What does he do? He attacks the Oliver. Oh my god, this is blatant match fixing right here. You know that unit can reset. You could have healed up. You normally attack the Oliver instead. I don't understand. Yeah, but I don't really know what is the agreement between those two players. Yeah, he might be your best friend or whatever, right? But you know, when push comes to shove, tournament, there's definitely rules to uphold. And yeah, essentially all this kind of things got Pingroid disqualified. Honestly, if he wants to complain, I don't see a reason to. He brought it upon himself, right? So here, because of not killing off the Inosuke, there was so much damage for him to bring down the Masha really easily. And then we move on to the final match right here. So this was game 5 draft, and for Rexus, I feel like he's not really mentally in the game right now because he picked in a single stripper in the form of Jogen. He didn't go for another one, and then he had to deal against the Shizuka as well. So on paper, the draft Pingroid already wins. But let's see how he actually throws, alright? So here, just opting for normal attacks. Nothing much Rexus can do. And then Antares could have went for the skill 2, but opting for the normal attack instead onto the Sierra. So I think if he actually did skill 2 there, he could have dismounted the Nasha already. So now slow debuff landed onto 2 because of the violent proc. And Chao is starting to work on to the Antares. At this point here, you could probably just go for the all things in nature, but opting for double normal attacks instead to push back the Lamiela. I don't know, man. It's just a really bad way to see like tournament. You're doing all this kind of stuff. You know, I mean, back in the day, Pingroid already had a big drama where he flipped Shishizo, I believe. I don't know, it was like years ago. I don't know, one player tilted him, then he showed the middle finger to the camera or something like that, right? So yeah, that was in the past. He was still young, I believe. But now, yeah, years later, another drama on him, right? So here the Monkey could have went for the skill 2 to potentially try to AoE stun, but still opting for the normal attack instead. And then Diana, this secures the kill onto the Sierra already with the dot. So going for the soul protection, and then yeah, nothing much you can do here. Lamiela here couldn't do anything because of all the immunity on the side of Pingroid. And then Antares gets another turn. He could have killed off the Nasha, by the way, but he worked on to the Chao, which is very interesting. So Chao gets the additional turn. Damage goes through the invincibility buff. And now Diana, easy kill onto the Nasha. However, he went for the shield instead, which honestly doesn't make sense. So his purpose of dismounting the Nasha is so that she can stay in the field to do double damage. I don't know, man. Yeah, very sus, very sus. So here, Shizuka, just normal attack, starting to work a little bit onto the Nasha. And then finally, the branding is able to be applied from the Lamiela because of all the immunity earlier on. And then Nasha will be able to do good damage onto the Dyna here. I believe around like 30k. Yeah, Dyna going down here together with the Antares. And then it's 2v2. Nasha already down to half-life. And he still opt for the attack onto the Lamiela instead. So here, he actually revived the Dyna. And going for the normal attack. Yeah. That's a really bad look. Yeah, you could have honestly did the all things in nature here. Normal attack again. Which makes it so the monkey goes down. That was the only way for his monkey to die, you know? And then, yeah. A freebie 3-0 victory for Rexus. I don't know how you'll feel about this, but honestly, I don't think it's good for him as well. Like, to know that you were gifted the win in this series. And yeah, they were like probably discussing a little bit. Why did you do it? And at the end of the day, after all the highlights and stuff like that, there was like a 20 to 30 minutes interval between the final decision here. So over here at the end, they brought in the general manager from Europe.
My man, it's good to see you.
Yeah, we just listened to this one.
Good to see you as well. It's the Europe Cup. Can you believe it's come around again?
There was
here?
some sort of mic issue for the GM itself.
Some updates as well.
So yeah, he was talking and then they had to change his mic. There's small hiccups here and there.
1 second, David. There you go, buddy.
Hi.
Hi.
The hiccups are not stopping. So this Euro Cup didn't quite end as we expected it to end, unfortunately. I think it was relatively obvious to see that Pinkroyd lost on purpose in the last match. At least this is what we concluded. So unfortunately, we have to disqualify Pinkroyd. That means Pinkroyd is out of the competition. That means Raxas is our winner. And we will now give the prizes accordingly. It is more turbulent than we planned, so we might do our ceremony a little shorter than usual. I would just like to thank everybody who helped make this possible. Would like to thank everybody watching. I'm sorry for the tumultuous ending, but we should still wrap it up nicely. And I hope to see a lot of you guys very soon in Paris again on November 1st for our World Final. And I hope that our players will do us proud. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, David. On that note, we are now going to...
So yeah, honestly, I feel like the decision made from David Moore, the general manager of Summoners War EU, I think this is the right play, right? Because you do not want the integrity of the sport to be jeopardized like this. It's blatant. It's so blatant that Pinkroyd gave the win to Raxas. And like I said, you never know. There's a lot of third-party websites nowadays, like esports betting. You never know. Maybe he bet against himself for more money. Could happen, you know. I don't know. But yeah, definitely there would be some sort of things like this that happens in esports most of the time. You've seen like Counter-Strike, a lot of all these big games as well. Valorant as well. I think recently, earlier this year, that there was like a really big scandal between the tier 2 players, the second tier of Valorant esports, right? And then they had those players where they purposely threw matches to win more, like tons of money from gambling websites. I'm not saying this one is related to it. Like I said, I don't know whether there's any esports betting for Summoners War Championship. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but it could be, you know, like you purposely lose against Raxas, everybody bets on him, like bets on Raxas, and then the payout is like maybe 2-1 or something like that, right? You never know, all these kind of things can happen. Other than that, yeah, definitely there's going to be rules in the tournament where I think 6.11 stated something to do along the lines of match fixing and things like that. So yeah, definitely the decision made from the Comtours team here were the right decision. In terms of what you think, let me know down in the comments below. I feel like, in my own personal opinion, this should never ever happen because you are playing for $10,000 and I know the slot is already secured for you to enter the World Finals itself because the top 2 will be moving onwards, right? But yeah, even if you want to give the money to Raxas, just win it and then you transfer the 10k to him, right? I don't know. Don't have to show it on stream that, yeah, I can do whatever I want. I don't want to win this shit. And then, yeah, purposely losing the final 3 matches. What David said, it was only clear cut on the 5th match. I don't think so. It's so clear from the 3rd match onwards itself, right? So yeah, once again, let me know down in the comments below what do you think about this. And yeah, we're gonna wrap things up. Don't really want to talk too much about this one. So yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, they did the right decision and we can continue along the journey of Summoners War Americas and the APAC side as well. So definitely more matches to come. Can't wait for it. I'll see you guys then. Alright, take care, stay safe. Peace out.